Hello, and welcome to Art, Creativity, and Wellbeing. This is the show where we are always working to support you in giving as much care for yourself and love for yourself as you give for those in your world, those that you support, your loved ones. I am Kay. I am a coach. I'm a facilitator. I'm an artist, creator, through hiker who used to need a wheelchair. And I am here today with just some of the awesomest people that I have gotten to talk to this year. And you've heard from each of them individually. And now you get to hear from them all together, contributing some really beautiful ideas and thoughts. And I cannot wait for this conversation. So, what I'd love for each of you wonderful Rebels for Peace to do is to just introduce yourselves, with a quick sort of introduction into who you are, what you do with the organization, and then pass it on to somebody else. And I would love to start with, let me see, Prince. How about if you kick us off? Can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah. Well, firstly, thank you for having the Rebels on this wonderful podcast. I'm Prince Jamar. We are the Rebels for Peace, a youth-led initiative empowering youth on the south side of Chicago to be the change that they want to see. We do that in two powerful ways. We have a 25-week program for 4th through 8th graders teaching social and emotional learning and leadership skills that we've been hosting and partnering with CPS going on 7 years this year. And we've been hosting a summer internship going on 9 years this year for 16 through 24-year-olds to dive into what it means to be a leader and to have a safe space where they get paid to focus on mental health and see the values of leadership from other like-minded peers, and then from people from different industries that come in and support, or field trips that we take just to motivate our youth to be who you want to be, have what you want to have, and allow them to see us being the change that we want to see. So I would say that. And I would also say Chicago born and raised, West Side, South Side. I'm Chicago. I love Chicago. Everything that we do is to empower our youth in the city to see leaders that resemble them and to know that they had the opportunity to be able to do the same thing. So super grateful to be here, super grateful for my team, and let's have a great session.
Oh, but Prince, you cut out just at the last second. Thank you for all of that. And what was the last thing that you said? You were saying I'm grateful for my team.
Yeah, I said we're grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for my team that allows this work to be able to be possible day in and day out.
Awesome. Who would you like to hear from next, Prince?
Let's do Melina since she on the end, and then we could just float it on down.
Okay, hi again. Hi, everyone. My name is Melina Navarrete. I am the Rebels for Peace team lead trainer, lead bilingual facilitator, and lead partner. I've been with Rebels for Peace for about 3 years now. I am from the Chicagoland area, and I'm a first generation Mexican American.
Hello guys, I'm Logan. I'm actually from Phoenix, Arizona. I've been with the Rebels for about 2.5 years now. Serve as our program coordinator as well as one of the lead facilitators here with the kiddos. And I've just been here letting kiddos know how much power it holds to just be you, and how much power your voice holds. So yeah, got to be here.
My name is Devlin. I'm a lead youth facilitator with Rebels for Peace, the newest of the team. Almost at 2 years now. Feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah.
Well, having you all in the same room is a really special feeling. And by this time, as this comes out, folks have heard from each of you, and I mean, I am the one in this moment who has heard from each of you, and your stories are so beautiful and so powerful, and I'm continually inspired by the leadership that each of you shows just in who you are, just the setting um, of a beautiful, like it's sort of leadership from the heart, because that's what feels best. And I mean, just even today, Melina just was sharing about the ways that has shown up, I think, in your life, and how differently it's been since you have been a rebel for peace versus before. And I'd love to start there, because Melina's thought was she'd love to hear from each of you team on the idea of, well, Melina, why don't you share it, because it's your words. So
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of know, and I think we talk as a team, but I think it would be beautiful for people to know who you were prior to encountering the Rebels for Peace program and who you are now. I think we talk a lot about how the kids are impacted, but I would love for people to also see how the adults in the room have been impacted too.
Yeah, I love to start. I I started off as a rebel, just a rebel. Just wanting to do me, wanting to be who I wanted to be. No real consideration to how that was affecting my community or maybe my younger brothers and sisters. I was not willing to learn, or I wasn't coachable. Like, couldn't nobody tell me anything. I thought I knew everything. I had every solution and answer for myself. I knew exactly where I was going and who I was going to be, and nobody could tell me anything about that. I was closed off, like very closed to just new information or different things. And I had a huge problem with like respecting male authority. Just growing up, not having a father in the household, not having that consistent masculine discipline or energy. That was a big thing. That was hard for me, was to listen to other men who had that, oh, you ain't my father, you ain't my, like, complex, like not really able to learn or listen from other people. Just very I had a dark moment, like very dark. I was a troubled student. I was kicked out of school 4 times, in elementary schools and high schools. I was moved around a lot, and I've been in a lot of different communities. I I just was finding myself. And I could say, since being a part of Rebels for Peace, it have allowed me to challenge that version of who I was, or what limitations that I set for myself, like really challenging, why am I not listening? Why am I not willing to learn or grow? And asking myself that question, like, if people are trying to help me, if people are want to invest in me, if people want to give me knowledge, why am I not receiving, or why am I not open enough to listen or hear? And that's a big thing that I've been able to reflect on, and just seeing my value and my power that I hold. Like, when we started, there's a lot of the same similar things that we dealing with now in Chicago, with the narrative being based on violence. And speaking for young Black men, the narrative that people have when they talk about young Black men that's either from the South Side of Chicago or that live in the South Side of Chicago, and not really feeling like we could do anything to change what was going on or to create any solutions. So a lot of my time was spent on why we can't have peace, why we can't do something. We can't afford it. We can't, we don't have the knowledge. We don't have the skill, always finding a reason to not create change or not stand up and be the change that I want to see. And that was like a big shift in my life, where I was able to change my, to build a growth mindset, to really reflect on everything that was happening and find solutions, and not be stagnant to what may be happening in my community or what may be happening in my personal life, but becoming more solution oriented. So, like, okay, it's a lot of violence and crime that's going on in my neighborhood. What can I do about it? Can I change? Can I make everybody put the guns down? Can I stop all of the violence in Chicago at once? Just one person? No. But I was able to stand up, Dejan White as well, and we were able to go into schools and start there with 2 schools and 200 students. And from there, we've been able to grow to where now we're in 8 different schools. And just seeing the power of what's inside yourself, I was able to believe that I could be the change that I want to see. That's what Rebels for Peace really helped me do, was to channel all of the anger and frustrations that I had about what I didn't have, what my community didn't have, what was going on, and putting it into something that will actually make impact for a fourth grader or a fifth grader who may have to experience that same violence that I did, but at least they have a positive mentor who's showing them that it's a different route. Violence isn't the only option. With us being on the south side of Chicago, where 1 in 4 of our youth see a form of violence every week of their life. So why can't they experience peace as well? So that was my whole thing, was just implementing and creating something that I never believed was possible for a young Black man coming from the south side of Chicago.
Thank you. I'm just letting that settle. And I think just before the others jump in, I'm wondering if you can speak quickly to, like, what was the shift to go, how did you go from not being coachable to allowing yourself to let those ideas in, and then to really see the power in it? Like, was there a moment or a shift that you can remember?
Trying to think of a specific moment. It was a lot of moments. For me, I guess after it's so many moments. I guess it wasn't more of a moment. It was more of me challenging myself. Like when I realized that I wasn't focused on growth, or I wasn't willing to challenge myself. I was able to notice that because I was kicked out of 4 different schools. I wasn't a part of any communities. I didn't have any drive to go to school or to build or do anything. So I could tell that my mindset on where I was not willing to try. And that was the biggest shift, is just trying. Like when I was willing to try and just show up with what I had and with who I was at that time, and to feel like that was enough. That was the biggest thing was for me, because a lot of times it's just like, what was the point? Like, who am I? What am I going to do? What does my voice matter? And challenging that is like one of the biggest things that have shifted growth for me. Like, no, actually my voice does matter. No, actually my presence is power. And channeling just all of them emotions and those thoughts into that direction. But I could also say that the biggest shift was when, like I said, when we showed up to the schools, when we originally started doing the program, it was organic, meaning we didn't have a curriculum, we didn't have a full structure, we didn't have it set up to where it is the way that it is today, thanks to our wonderful team. We just showed up, like what we had and what we knew. And that created peace, that created change, that created youth to be able to see positive mentors who resembled themselves. And I guess that me not feeling like I was enough, but then my community and the youth emphasizing that I was more than enough, was like a big shift in my leadership, to go from feeling like, what can I do, or what am I capable of, to then seeing that, like seeing in real time, no, this is what you're capable of. Look at how many youth are motivated. Look how many of safe spaces you have created for youth to be able to dive into mental health. And I guess just that, like that challenge of like, who am I? What can I do? And then actually seeing what was possible from just trying, just showing up for the community, just showing up for the youth, without expertise, without consistency in my work, to where I had everything mapped out. I knew about operating systems and plan. Like, this is organic raw prints coming from off of 89th at University, going into the schools with the youth to just create peace, and not me questioning, was that enough before? Like, am I? And then proving to myself that it was more than enough for our youth and for our community by, like I say, just showing up. Just show up, and that's a big thing on what we believe in, is creating spaces for our youth to show up through our internship, through our 25-week program, just consistently creating opportunities for youth to be able to show up and try. Because that's where I started from, just trying.
You're reminding me of, I interviewed a woman, or had a conversation with a woman on this show named Elaine Taylor Klaus, who she works with neurodivergent she's a coach like for neurodivergent families, really. And she talks about how in her own life she had to have the realization at some point. She came to the realization that all these kids of mine, like I think that she and her husband have like 5 kids. She's like, all this neurodiversity cannot be from only my husband. Like I have to have contributed something to the genetics of these children with all of their neurodivergence. And so that was where she started to be curious about like what was going on in her. So there was this openness, this kind of shift. And it feels like that's a little bit of what you're saying is you put something down to go and be able to open to the idea of, well, I can just show up. I'll just show up.
And I guess that putting what was put down was more like fear and doubt is what I put down, was like the fear that what I wanted to deliver wasn't enough, and just putting that fear and doubt down to be able to grow.
Yeah, love it. Logan or Devlin, who wants to hop in next?
Yeah, I definitely okay, because I don't want to go all crazy because I'll go way off topic. But tell me again what was the original question so that I don't want to go way off of
Yeah.
it was
My understanding of the
before and
original.
after who we are, correct?
It was who were you prior to encountering Rebels for Peace?
Okay.
And who are you now? Like, what do you feel like the biggest difference is?
Is now okay. The Logan that I was before Rebels for Peace was just like I always focused on what I didn't have. Like I think that's probably the biggest shift and change that I probably would focus and felt the most. I was in a very rough place prior to Rebels. Like I had just moved to Chicago, unemployed for over a year, trying to find like a niche, like trying to find my place, like trying to figure out was the bet that I just took from leaving this full-time job I just got after undergrad worth leaving and moving to a whole different city for? Like, was it worth that? And I just had not found that reason yet. And I just couldn't. I couldn't. Like, I kept focusing on everything that I did not have. And that dictated a lot for me. So, up until I got with Rebels, and then I was able to finally start being able to focus on things that I did have and what power that had and what that did hold. And then also just what I held within myself, like, and how much control I had within that. I feel like I prior to focused on everything I didn't control. Like, I love to point a finger. I love to make everything somebody else's fault. I love to not take accountability. Those were things that I consistently did prior to not being a rebel. Like I rebelled, but for every wrong reason in the absolute world. So that's why it's really hard for me when I deal with kiddos that are doing it now because that used to be me. So it's like, it's only so much that I can tell you as to where I'm just like, yo, like I get it. Cause it used to be me. So I get it. Like I get it. And you may not even know but why you're doing it right now, why you may be doing the absolute most, but one day it's gonna click for you. One day you're gonna be like, yo, like I I don't have to do all that. Like I don't have to act this way to validate why I feel that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what I took the most. That was the thing that clicked for me the most from before and now with Rebels is like I don't have to act a way to validate something. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be away because people expect me to be away. Like who I am is fine and it's enough. And just investing in that and building on that because I want to, because it's what I want, not what the world wants. And being okay with that and just being okay with that. Like being a rebel, it can be whatever you want it to be. And I feel like that's what I learned. Like in my eyes, it was just always like, oh, like you're always been the bad girl. Like in high school, middle school, I was always in the wrong stuff. So now it's just like, oh, but I'm doing it for the right cause. Like it's okay to go crazy, but for the right reasons, right? So always sit on that.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Devlin, how about you?
So, in the simplest terms I could use, it was very confusing before I found Rebels for Peace. It was like I had recently just made the transition into like a new life per se. Trading a backpack filled with um trading a backpack filled of anger, frustration, and paraphernalia to a backpack filled with a camera, a laptop, and a whole lot of creativity. So it was this beginning of my new life per se, and I started using the passion that I had for myself and the people, the loved ones around me, and I started putting that into a good purpose, which was creating. And I didn't really know how to direct that in the right way, I guess. It was more so of like whatever way works. But when I found Rebels for Peace, through the job listing, through the internship, it felt like as it went on, I was learning more and more, not only about myself as a person, but also what I wanted to do in the world. And it wasn't until like towards the end of the internship, I was like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is how I'm gonna do it. Because as I think I said before in our one-on-one, my three main goals that I had for myself, and Rebels really, that internship really helped me establish it, is make my mom proud, make a positive impact on my community and my city, and be able to just travel everywhere that I'm needed, I feel. You know what I mean? So yeah, it really made it more clear my path in life and really how to do what I wanted to do and had my goal already set in stone, but it really told me, it really laid out the path for it. It lit up the path that before it seemed foggy, and after, especially after I got brought onto the team, it felt like the path just lit up like that.
Mm,
Like so um yeah, it just really clarified a lot for me from being lost.
mm. I love that. Like that you started out in confusion, right? And on a path, but then there was light so that you could see. And
Yeah.
uh,
Like it felt like I knew I was on a better path than I was originally, but it made the path much more easier to follow and much more clear, if that makes sense.
hmm hmm Yeah, and it makes me think about too about what you were saying, Logan. It feels like each of you have described. The way I've been kind of thinking about this is we have these. I don't want to reduce it too much because I understand that it's not so reductive, but I feel like what we most want or wish for is one side of a coin, and what we most mm, are rebelling against or fear maybe or something like that is on the other side of that coin, but it's the same coin.
Mm.
So if what you're wanting is to make a difference in the world, or if what you're wanting is to be creative or really be able to fully show up and know that that's enough, like there can be two aspects of that, right? One is a little scary and the other one is a lot delightful. And it's just interesting to hear how you would each share about that. And I wonder, Melina, do you? I know it's your question, but would you contribute a share? Like, what is that? What is the answer to that question for you?
Um, I think I think a lot of what we talked about in our one-on-one, but just to, I guess, reiterate, I think prior to I can relate to the feeling of confusion, um, of uncertainty, of insecurity, and I like I had said before, I was just looking for a place to heal. Like I was just on a path to I was tired of being tired of being tired.
Mm,
And I just wanted to heal and I wanted a place to be able to do that effectively. And um once I encountered Rebels for Peace, not only was I healing, I was sure of who I was. I was sure of what I was doing and I like I said, I feel very much more secure in myself and the impact that I'm able to have with just showing up and just being who I am and not having to question that or doubt that at all. Um, yeah.
And that was our conversation was just today. So I'm still like I'm sitting in this conversation basking in that one, you know. And I I remember you saying, I like I'm seen. They see me. They understand me. Oh my God. Like the feeling of being in the internship was of, wow, they see me. They get it. And then when you were offered the job with the Rebels for Peace, you were like, I get to do this for other people now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be offer the same, I guess, feeling that I was offered and helping other people see that for themselves too.
Yeah.
I be saying like, oh, the internship helped me heal. Then Prince always corrects me. He's like, no, you healed yourself. You did that yourself. You just happen to be. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, just being able to see that superpower, I guess, within myself and being able to see that superpower in the kids and everybody that we work with.
Yeah, and I just want to add that the team definitely have challenged themselves as well. Like our old characters, our old ways of living, thinking and being, they all have independently rebelled against whatever was negativity or not pushing them to be able to be on a path that's leading to them becoming the best version of themselves. So that's why I'm also honored to work with them, serve together, create, build together, because each one of us stood up in our own lives, and that's how we able to stand up for others in our community. So
There's wellness inside first, and then that can get extended out because you're okay inside.
it's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to not be okay. I love that. Yeah. Prince, would you mind taking us into the idea that you brought for today, and then we can hear from the team on that?
Yeah, so my idea was more so focusing on peace, and what have peace brought for each one of us. I can speak to myself. Peace has brought community into my life. Peace has brought these three wonderful people into my life. Peace has brought safety into my life. I don't have to look over my shoulder all day or worry about if somebody looking for me, because I'm all peace. It's all love. You looking for me, you must want a hug or a conversation or something. Peace have peace has saved my life.
You must want a hug.
Yeah. You ain't looking for me. You can't be looking.
No.
And that's peace have allowed me to be heard. You know, I was so angry and frustrated, and I couldn't express to anybody what I was dealing with or what our youth is dealing with. Peace have allowed me to be able to effectively articulate the struggle that the 4th through 8th graders are experiencing on the daily, and to be able to share that with other people so that we can get resources and opportunity to do something about it. The frustration and the anger that I carry kind of dimmed my light, and it brought out made people fear me or made people scared instead of being motivated or inspired. Peace have kind of gave me a new language to use when I deal with my family, my younger brothers and sisters, when I deal with people in the community who I have high standards and expectations for, but then I have to have a lot of empathy and understanding too. A lot of our parents that I might not agree with ways that they handle things or how they do with their children. A lot of stuff that happened in the community that I might not agree with. I have peace inside of myself. Initially, I thought that I still think that, but I was trying to make everybody have peace, and everybody can have peace, even the people that's in war, even the people that like everybody can have peace, and it's like, boy, go sit down somewhere. Like what is he talking about? Like, because that's just how motivated I was, and that's how much peace brought prosperity into my life, that I just wanted everybody to experience peace and see the values of what peace brings and how it can allow you to like it can allow you to travel to different worlds and universes and languages, like the Rebels for Peace in Scotland, the Rebels for Peace in the UK, the Rebels for Peace has been in Portland, the Rebels for Peace have been in the Congo, Africa, the Rebels for Peace have been a lot of other places other than Chicago. So peace travels. Peace does a lot of things that I've been able to see through peace. And I'm able to sleep better at night by contributing peace to society and to everybody that's around me. So I've experienced peace on a different level of like what peace I've brought to me. Peace I've brought in wonderful mentors into my life. Peace I've brought life-changing opportunities that I was able to see because my mind and my heart was at peace, which allowed me to see solutions, allowed me to see that this is a great opportunity for me to be a part of. And if I am able to be coachable and willing to grow, then this is only the beginning of what's possible for me. So just peace have allowed me to really see my privileges that I have and all of the disadvantages that I have. Peace have like really opened up my mind to be able to be in control of my destiny. So that's why I push everybody to peace, because when you frustrated or when you angry, the last thing you will find is a solution. So
Mhm.
I mean, it ain't gonna be a good one. You could find one, but it's probably not gonna be something that's gonna help somebody
Mhm.
or create a better dynamic than whatever the problem is. So just work through peace, and then also knowing when you not operating from peace. So I know when I'm in my peace mode and I'm on peace, and I know when I'm not and I'm hot and I don't want no peace right now. I'm angry and so it's also helped me to be able to identify when I'm operating from peace, what that looks like for the people around me, my community, my family, myself. And then when I'm not operating from peace, who's affected by it? How do I deal with my team? How do I deal with the world? How do I deal with the youth if I'm not operating from peace? So it's just kind of like that dynamic where I'm able to learn for myself. When I'm in a peaceful state, I find solutions. I'm willing to listen. I'm open. I smile a little bit more.
Mm.
If I'm not peaceful, then you wouldn't want me on the podcast.
And that awareness, that feels like that
Yeah.
awareness is such an important part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something that you work towards. Like I said, that's why I gave that example, because I'm still not peaceful 24/7. I'd be lying if I told y'all I'm always peaceful and tranquil and understanding and listening. Like that's not realistic. But the fact that I'm able to check myself and I'm able to realize, hey, Prince, you're not being the change that you want to see, or hey, Prince, you're not reacting to the situation the best way that you could, and then I'm able to adjust. So that's what I would tell people too. Peace is a process. So don't beat yourself up if you have a bad day or a bad week, but just make sure that you're reminding yourself to get back to you.
Mhm.
Well said.
Yes.
Well said.
I mean, I know that's a lot for us. So what I just
Yeah.
asked the team
Well,
is just like, what is peace brought in your life? And that's whatever form of fashion. It don't have to be nothing that got to do with work, but it's more so just like, what have peace brought to you in your life? Have you been more creative? Have you been having more self-care? Have you been more intentional with time you spend with your family? Just like, what have peace brought in y'all life? Since y'all been experiencing peace.
I think peace has brought a lot of clarity into my life. It has allowed me to be confident. I think something I struggled with a lot was doubt or who I was. And I was telling myself a lot of somebody who I was not. Um, Being able to give back to my community, just being able to give back to the community in general. I know we said maybe outside of it, but something that I'm very grateful that I'm able to do now is serve the Spanish speaking community, something that I didn't see a lot growing up in my community. Um, if anything, we were held back or we were put aside just because of the language barrier. So I'm able to help in that aspect now too. Stability. Um, Peace has allowed me to show my family, more importantly, what life could be. And I think specifically my brothers, when I have conversations with them, I remember having a conversation with the one that's right under me, Abraham, and I was like, it was so funny. I was like, when did you realize I was an adult? And he's like, when you got a job and a car. Like when you started being able to get it together, that's when I realized you were turning into an adult, quote unquote. And he's like, you've changed a lot. And I'm able to see that within myself too, how I show up. I'm not always down. If anything, I'm the opposite. So peace has afforded me to be able to be the best version of myself every day.
Mm.
Just giving me that opportunity to. If I really wanted to, I could. So yeah.
And I think this is, I'm curious about this aspect of it as well. Is you're called the Rebels for Peace. Is peace part of what you, I don't know, work with your students to understand? Like, is that named, or is it just in the name and part of the leadership? Is that, you know?
I like to think, and I think maybe everyone has their own perspective on it. I like to think that when you understand who you are, you have an understanding of what you are capable of, you have an understanding of that, that in itself brings peace. You know what I'm saying? When you truly understand how your mind works, why you're thinking what you're thinking, the power that you hold in your own actions, in your own feelings, the power that you hold, that itself brings peace. Because I think a lot of time, at least for me, I went on my day-to-day being like, everything's out of my control. I can't do nothing about it. I just have to go through it, and I just have to push through, and I just have to, and like I can't do nothing. I just have to get through it with it. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I have so much power within my own autonomy, within my own mind, that I'm able to find that clarity in the day-to-day, whether it be chaos going on or it feels like the world is falling apart and burning up. Like I'm able to find clarity in that because I know who I am, because I know where I stand, and I know my position.
And to add to that, if you think about the word rebels, it's naturally going against authority, leadership, power dynamics. So being a rebel is the wrong thing to do or be. Most times when you hear the word rebel, you're like, oh no, stay away. What are you, a rebel? Get away, get out of here. And we rebels for peace because we are in a state where our people, life is teaching our youth to be violent. They're experiencing violence from their community, from their peers, from their family. They don't get to see the value of peace. They don't get to experience peace. A lot of our youth aren't thinking about peace because they don't get to taste it or feel a little love and to say, you know what, I would rather live that life, or I would rather have this type of feeling, a good feeling, a hopeful feeling, a community feeling, versus to a degrading separation. I'm the only person that's going through this in the world type of feeling. So Rebels for Peace is really helping youth to rebel against the narrative of what life has to be like on the south side of Chicago. Because if you look at the state of the situation, we're rebelling against that. We're rebelling against saying, no, all of our 4th through 8th graders aren't criminals. All of our 4th through 8th graders aren't low lives or at risk. And we showing that because we are products of Chicago and of under-resourced neighborhoods that have been able to sustain, grow, and build through mentorship. Like all of the opportunities that I was given to be able to grow and to create in safe spaces that I had was how I became Prince Jamar that I am today, through the mentorship, through the understanding, through the opportunities. And that's what we delivering to our youth, that same opportunity, that same mentorship, that same space that a lot of times our youth on the south side don't get to have. But that's really what Rebels for Peace is doing, is that we rebelling against the narrative of what's possible for youth on the south side of Chicago.
Um, Thank you for bringing that in. And it's immediately making me think, especially because Prince, your time is a little shorter than your companions, or our companions in this conversation. And Logan, when you are sharing, uh, when you're sharing about peace for you, Logan, would you also share your, because Prince just spoke to it, so your idea that you wanted to bring into the conversation?
Yes, yes,
Cool,
yes.
cool.
Yeah, so for me, peace brings softness for me. Like,
Mm,
when I don't have peace, I'm at war. And when you're at war, you're on defense. So for me, peace brings like a softness in my life. It brings calmness. Um, it brings a sense of hope. I feel like when I don't have peace, I feel like there's no hope. But when I have peace, there's a sense of hope there. Um, and again, clarity of just who I am and where I want to go. But I don't know, like I feel like I was always confident of who I was as a person, even if I didn't know who I was. Like that sounds crazy, but like I would just always stand on it. Like even if I didn't know who I was 110%, I was gonna stand on it as if I knew 110%. Like I don't care, but I'm still who I am. Like, okay, whatever. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like the Rebels feeds on that energy for me now because it feeds into the younger Logan's energy. Because I say this all the time, like younger Logan would go crazy in Rebels right now. Like I always feel like I had to do the most to be understood. So to be able to again, so my idea to bring in everything was being a rebel for the right reason is where your entire life changes. I feel like that's where my life changed. I feel like that's where Prince's life changed. That's where everybody, I feel like in this team's life changed because at once upon a time in our lives, I feel like we was all rebels. Okay. We were rebels. We was rebels. And I'm not gonna say we was like, yeah, man, we gotta go crazy. But we were rebels. You know what I'm saying? We were rebels. And it was easier to be a rebel that way than it was to be for a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
it's easier for us to fail than it was for us to succeed. And so I feel like it's very easy to draw that line of okay, are you doing it for a right one or for a wrong one? Because that's going to separate it right then and there.
mm.
Are you going crazy right now for the right reason or for the wrong reason? And I feel like, especially in today's world, like, yo, are you going against the grain right now for a good reason or the wrong reason? Are you loud and wrong or are you loud and proud and right? Which one is it? I feel like, especially with our kids right now, we literally just explained this to a kiddo. He was like baffled. He was like, "What's a rebel?" And I'm like, Miss Mel's like, like a rebel's like somebody that goes against the grain. He's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm a rebel." And I'm like, "Okay, wait, but we're a rebel for peace though, so we do it for the right reason." And he's
Mm.
like, "Um." And we're like, yeah, I know. It may not sound like the coolest thing in the world, but it's the best thing. Like that's what we talk about in this class. And it literally was like the first day of her class there. And we had really just got into it. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's again easier for them to fail right now than it is for them to succeed. Like they will let them walk themselves straight down that line of failure every single day. Like every single day, have them labeled as the bad kid, he acts up, with him, you gonna need the da 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 da. Like they'll give them that label every single time. So who cares? Not saying who cares, but kind of sort literally. Like, you're a kid, you don't have it all figured out. You're trying to regulate your emotions, you're trying to figure out how to think and what you want in life. You're a rebel from the heart. You know what I'm saying? So let's figure out how we can
So let's
pivot.
build off that.
Right.
Let's build off
Pivot.
that.
Let's see how we can focus in your energy. I love your energy. I want you to keep being energetic.
Mm.
Okay. You're a kid. You should have all this energy. I don't want you to just calm down and be quiet, but let's focus it in on somewhere good. Like, let's be a leader with it. You know what I'm saying? Lead your class let's lead us in this next activity. Or, hey, like, can you go help Mr. Dev pass out the supplies? Since you're so eager today, you need some more, like helping them in that form or in a
Mm.
sense of versus oh my God, send them to the dean's office or da 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 da. And it's like, yo, like, do you understand how much power it is in that decision alone? Like, okay, here's the good over here, here's the bad over here. And especially in a school system, like that means everything. Because then when you go to college, you go to high school, like it's like, oh, you got that one. Oh, I would be on the lookout for them. Oh, they be tripping at that school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a thing. It's still a thing. Like, they talk about them like that. Like, they're not humans. Like, they're not, I don't know, kids,
Yeah.
Individual.
individuals that are learning, and have
Yeah.
no idea what emotions or, you know what I'm saying? So that
It's
I think that's why it's like, it's so important when you talk about that fine line of for a good reason and for a bad reason, right? Because, they're just kids. They're a rebel from the get-go. Like they're right and wrong from the get-go. Like they're just kids, like let them be a kid. They're gonna rebel regardless. Let them do that. However, it's just like, let them know for good or for bad is where all lies. Like that's where the power is, for the good or for the bad.
it's not, we are all going to stand in a circle and we're going to hold hands and we're
You
going to
know what I'm
sing the
saying?
same
Ring
little
around the
song.
rosy.
It's
We're
like,
not
yeah,
doing it.
I love it. And
Yeah.
that feels like exactly what it feels very similar to what Prince was saying about we we're rebels for the right reasons, and being a rebel is like fun. It's about, like when you're doing it for the right reason, it's fun because what you're doing is you're seeing all that garbage and you're doing something different. You're
Yeah,
doing
because nobody can stop you. The
yeah,
feds can't stop you when you're doing it for the right reason, when you're doing it the right way.
yeah.
Nobody can come and stop you. Law enforcement can't come and stop you. Judges can't stop you. Police can't stop you. Teachers can't stop you. Because when you're doing it for the right reason with the good intent, it's like, okay, why would they stop me?
Mm.
Now, if they are stopping you and they're in the wrong, now that's a conversation. And we've had those conversations of, oh, we'll talk about that because you're right. They were in the wrong and we should have that conversation. But it's like, okay, yeah, no, make sure for what you're in control of, you come with the good intent from the right place. That's what matters. So that if something does fail, something does go wrong, you did it with good intent. You're not out here like, oh, Miss Logan, I was trying to get my get back and duh. Like, okay, whoa. So when you do get in trouble, you understand why, right? Like your intent was straight off the get-go from a bad place. So you're gonna end up in a bad place, right? Because that was the intent. So it's like, just letting them know that. And even with them being kids, like they'll tell you, like, okay, like, all right, like I know I could have
They
not,
know, they know.
like, but they don't think about that right then and there. They're like, I wasn't
Yeah,
thinking about that, Miss Logan. Like he made me mad, and I wanted to react. And it's
yeah,
like, okay, I hear you loud and clear though, but like on a different day, different life, maybe even a different time, like you did that stuff somewhere else, it may be a different outcome,
yeah, yeah.
right? So just think about it.
Amazing. Devlin, are you comfortable waiting until we've said goodbye to Prince to share about Peace and Rebel? Is that okay?
Yeah, he's been teleporting almost.
I
So
know, I know. We keep seeing Prince. We keep seeing you in these different areas. It's kind of fun. It's like a cosmic thing. So,
I did my hardest to not cancel today.
oh, and I
Crazy.
think we are all so appreciative of that. Yeah. As you are stepping out, can you share with us, like, your what is the best, most audacious vision that you've got? And I would love to hear about that on any level, you know?
hmm Rebels for Peace nationwide, every country in the world, every state in the
Every
U.S.,
school, every
every
school
school,
required.
and Rebels for Peace
it.
worldwide. That's the goal right now. Is Rebels for Peace expanding, new chapters and new states and countries, and new leaders to step up and have people that may have different things that they want to rebel against, like homelessness, hunger, child neglect. There's a lot of other things that need to be rebelled against, and hopefully we can create opportunities to support other things that need to be rebelled against, because we rebelling for peace, but that's not the only thing that's needed to make the world go round. So that would be my hope, is for us to expand to where we got rebels for rebels for and different causes that we serving and growing. So
Awesome.
well, also let me say, love my team. My team did a wonderful job today. I love hearing y'all speak and tell y'all story. Kay, thank you so much for creating this space. Looking forward to staying connected. Thank you so much for all your support on the Rebel games, and ensuring that you believe in the mission, everything that we're doing for the fourth through eighth graders, and everything that we're doing on the south side of Chicago. So thank you, and I will see you guys soon.
All right,
See
peace.
ya, P.
You're
Peace.
welcome. It's a pleasure.
See you.
See you soon.
Close the computer, right?
What fun. So inspired. Okay, so Devlin, yeah. What about peace for you personally?
So, peace for me, I feel like it is more so taken away from my life. I feel like it's taken out of a lot of animosity, trust issues, paranoia, um, a lot. It is taken more out of my life than I could count. To me, peace is more of a state, the state of peace. It's like, to me, it's like a balance. When we go into these classrooms, we're not trying to make these kids quote unquote perfect. We're trying to help them help themselves. We're trying to give them the tools that they need to break those barriers or those labels or those stereotypes that they are facing the moment they walk out that school or the moment they're walking on their way to back home. So it's not like we're shooting for them to, hey, anytime somebody comes up to you and tries to like give you a hard time, just turn the other cheek. No, we're trying to give them the tools that they need to take that situation and de-escalate it and get to a common ground. Like, hey, you don't need to like me, I don't need to like you, but we can still respect each other. We can still walk the other way and live another day, because sometimes you bump into the wrong person and if you don't have those tools or that communication level or comprehension level, that could be your last day, because some people out here are crazy. And that's not just Chicago, that's worldwide. People are crazy everywhere. So you meet the wrong person and you don't have those tools that is essential for communicating human to human, that could very well be your last day anywhere. So that's my ideology of peace, and that's why, like, for me, it's so important that when we go into these schools, we're not trying to completely change the kid. We're not trying to change the kid at all. We're just trying to give them the tools that we wish we had as kids, because I can't stress it enough. If I had the tools of what we teach at their age, I think I would have had such a better life, a better upbringing, knowing and realizing like, okay, this is why that person is giving me a hard time, is because they're going through a hard time. Or this is why I'm having a difficult time right now because I'm feeling X, Y, and Z. So really just trying to help them and pass down that knowledge. And one thing that I always say is, if they don't get it, if they don't understand what we're teaching now, they'll understand it in a year. They'll understand it in a month. They'll understand it next week, because we've seen it in real time. We've seen these kids understand it weeks later, like, okay, let's try to resolve this. Rather than 6 weeks ago, they're trying to put hands on each other. And some kids, they don't get it as quick. Some kids you just need to see after a couple years, and they're like, hey, thank you so much. Like, I didn't realize it in the moment, but I had a argument with so and so, and I remembered what you guys taught me like last year, and it helped so much. And I'm like, see, like we're just trying to give you those tools and trying to help. And I think that's one of the things that we always need to disarm when we go into the classrooms. Like, hey, we're not trying to push you into talking about everything you're going through. We're not trying to push this way of life on you. We just want to help, and we just want to help you help yourself. And I think that's just really the main goal, like getting them to that state of peace, to that balance, to that understanding and that comprehension.
Wow. it's so I think there's so many ways that I think in society, I would say, right, or growing up, that we're told you're not correct, you must be changed, I'm going to change you, here's how I'm changing you. And what you're doing is like the exact opposite. You're saying, like, you're giving them the tools to, I love how you said this, to live another day. And it's not only I feel like the other thing that you were expressing, Devlin, was that they're seeing inside themselves when they might be the crazy one, and they can go, oh, wait a sec, I don't have to have this knee-jerk reaction that I've always thought I was supposed to have, or that I was always taught to have. So that's really special too, yeah. Melina and Logan, I would be curious your thoughts on, I'm sorry, not Logan, Melina and Devlin, I would be curious what your thoughts are on what Logan wanted to bring, which was, this idea of like being a rebel for good or not so good, and the kind of, how much power it holds to make that choice.
To be the rebel for the right reason.
I think in today's day and age, it's very easy to get caught up in the wrong thing. It's very easy to be a rebel for the wrong reasons. And we're in the state of society where it's a good thing to be different. However, different is always highlighted in a negative way. It's good to be different. It's good to be the aggressive person. You're the cool person if you're angry all the time. You're the cool person if you are on a reality TV show throwing stuff around, all that. And it's highlighted. And I think it's very easy for somebody to, like Melina's story, like it's very easy for a kid to say, oh yeah, I'm a rebel. And then the minute you say, oh, but for the right reasons, they're like, because it's almost made to be boring to be like a good rebel. So I think it's very easy for people to get caught up when they hear the word rebel to go with what they know or to follow the norm, which is in today's day and age being that rebel for the wrong reasons. So I think now it's more so of us just trying to push, like, if you be it for the right reasons, like it might not be cool now, but when you have so much more of life figured out, it's gonna matter. When you're saving, because what we teach, it's not only saves lives, but it also saves family ties, it saves friendships, relationships, it saves just connections in general, and saves you sometimes from just having a bad day. Like there's so many times where I've had a pretty bad week, and at the end of it, I could say, okay, but I understand this is just my state of mind now. This is just the mindset that I'm in now. And I know tomorrow, how I'm feeling right now, it will completely pass. All the bad thoughts that I have right now, they'll pass too. And then tomorrow I could completely reset. Tomorrow might be the best day of my life. Tomorrow might just be as bad. Tomorrow might just be in the middle. But no matter what, I know with the mindset of a rebel for peace, a rebel for the right thing, that no matter what happens, I will always shoot for that balance, for that clarity, and for that calm.
Wow.
I think rebelling for the right reason. I think what I found myself rebelling against a lot was my own thinking, was my thinking on my situations, my living, again, who I was. I used to think I was a terrible, bad person for whatever reason, and I can't even fathom why I would think that now. But a lot of my rebelling was mental. It was how I view people, how I view the situations that I've been through, and how I view myself now. And I think pushing back on myself or challenging myself has allowed me to challenge other people when they are trying to come incorrectly or wrong towards me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like, I don't know. I think we're so used to being so negative about the things that we're going through, or we're used to just everything's going wrong, or everybody else is wrong except for me, or how could this be happening to me? And when you start challenging that mindset of maybe this isn't just happening to me, it's just happening, and I happen to be here. So what am I gonna do now? You know, um, and that change of thought of thinking habits changed my life. I I'm not a negative person anymore. I'm not a careless person anymore. Um, and if you ask anyone around me, they'll tell you I'm literally quite the opposite. So yeah, I don't know. I think that for me was the biggest rebelling, or it's just, yeah, like a shift of mindset. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm reminded of in my conversation with Prince, he shared that um, I I think people from different areas of Chicago, and I think even people who were young people who were sort of in like rival gangs, in the summers there would be a lot of fighting. Like you would see someone that wasn't part of your crew and you'd be like, hey, what the hell are you doing here, you know? And then what happened was they because they would see uh someone that they didn't know and would have sparked alarms wearing a Rebels for Peace shirt, and they'd be like, I have a Rebels for Peace shirt, like. And so it's like a whole different, there's things to connect people now, and things to like pro-social things that they can connect on, instead of, and with this mindset of like, all right, I'm thinking differently inside myself, to know that I can be secure in here no matter what's going on outside of me. I can be okay, and I can make a choice to look at this person and think, well, maybe they're just having a bad day, you know, and I don't have to let it bother me. I can live, you know, and be okay with that. So
Go on about my day.
Yeah.
yeah, going about my day. Exactly.
Regardless of what you're going through.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
on.
What are your most sort of boldest visions, whether within Rebels for Peace or something else? I mean, you know.
I actually show you my vision board.
That'd
And that
be amazing. You've got an actual vision board to show. Wow. And I think, Melina, for our listeners rather than viewers, can you maybe highlight a vision, like what's one section of your vision board?
okay, I'm gonna show you this vision board because I could speak more on this, and this is more visual. Okay. So this is all of the schools on the South Side, all the kids graduating from the program, and not just graduating from our program, but graduating from high school.
Mm.
I have Mexico right here because I want us to have a chapter in Mexico. I would love to be in Mexico running Rebels for Peace. Then I have here is the truth is it takes a village to get through life. We all need people to help hold us up when life has knocked us down. And then yeah, and then right here I have people in the classroom like in college. Because we're gonna have to be studied on how great we're gonna become and how great we are.
Wow.
And then this is just coverage. And this is one of my vision boards. So yes.
Wow. Oh, thank
I had to
you.
brag.
What a delight.
Jesus. Yeah, I think for me personally, I kind of am on the same with P. Like, I would love for Rebels to be in every single school across the nation. Like, I would love for us to be everywhere. Um, I'm kind of looking at my vision board now because of Mel. Like, she just got it in my brain. But yeah, I don't mind that I had just put Rebels verse everybody, but I instead of verse, I put for everybody because I feel like what we teach is for everybody. I think everybody having and listening to. Even if you don't hold it, it's worth you at least trying. Because I do think that it's a shift of a mindset, and I think that it is important that we start at a young age because ideally we do also teach it to older people. But they're also like when they hear it from us, they're like, "Huh, wow, I wish I would have had that when I was younger," like so always just trying to get that younger and younger and just spread across that. But yeah, I think it's just to continue to build and build and build and build and let us to have more rebels for more reasons. So yeah, we got Rebels for Peace now, but hopefully we'll have more rebels for more things and continue to expand us across the nation, across the globe as much as we possibly can.
Mm.
Whoop.
I think my most the vision that I want or would like is um I think two things are very essential for life in general. It's creativity, the freedom of expression, and just knowing how to communicate. Because I feel like communication and creativity are two things that are inherently human. So I would definitely say like SEL and social emotional learning and creativity should be highlighted much more in school systems,
Mm,
especially at younger grades. I feel like I feel like as I was growing up, creativity got pushed to the side by not only myself, but also by what people were telling me. In about fifth grade, I was a pretty high like achiever, like I was like A honor roll. And there was one time I got a C in math, and it kind of messed up an entire ideology for me. And it felt like I let everybody down. They're like, "Oh, you were almost there to get honor roll," and I'm like, "But I did well. I did so well on the rest." So it kind of like threw me into a spiral where it pushed me away from school, and
mhm,
it started making me look at how the school systems really work. Like they try the best to teach you stuff like math and reading, but they don't really shoot for individualism. I truly believe everybody is meant to be different in this world. Everybody is meant to be able to express themselves freely, whatever that be, whether it be drawing or just public speaking, etc. And I feel like at a certain age that gets almost dirt thrown on it. At a certain age, we're told to just keep going to school, and then after that, go to work. You don't have no time for hobbies. You don't have no time to express yourself, and it's like I feel like social emotional learning and creativity need to be instilled as foundational, instilled as two things that without it, yes, we're gonna live pretty boring lives. We're gonna live lives that don't feel meaningful all the time because when you're working 9 to 5 and then you go home and then you got to go to bed, you got people to take care of, you don't have time to really express yourself.
Mm.
You're not taught to express yourself. You're taught to put it to the side, wake up and make another dollar. So sorry for my tangent, but I feel like those are the two things that in my ideal world, I would make sure that creativity is more highlighted from a younger age, and then social emotional learning programs like Rebels for Peace is more instilled, not just in Chicago, not just the country, but worldwide.
mhm. I feel like that was not a tangent, but a central piece of something that it's funny because I've also been thinking a lot on this, that you expressed it really well, Devlin, that I think what I've been thinking on is like, who does it, who it, who is insecure when the kids feel, first of all, able to be creative, when they feel the agency of that, and second of all, when they also understand, oh, the person in front of me might be just having a bad day, and that's okay. And being just we don't even have to go here, but I just feel like it's really dovetailing. What you all do is really helping us resolve this societal challenge of what feels to me like a globe of people, insecure people, trying to make everybody else behave the way they want them to behave so that they can stop being insecure. But of course, that doesn't work, right? In the way that you're talking about with the social emotional learning of, I can be okay in here. I don't, I mean, Melina, just today you were saying, I feel secure in myself, right? Like, you've all expressed that in some way, and how that's been a shift for you. And the younger we can do this, like I'm sitting where I am, and Devlin, you're saying, boy, I wish I'd known this when I was younger. And I'm like, I came to this understanding for myself in my 50s. So, and I kind of feel like if I can do it, anyone can do it, because there's a lot of, I made myself really physically ill trying to uphold some vision of not my own creativity, not my own agency in the way that you teach. And it's a lovely world in which we're connected with these very gentle, peaceful, also really fun and meaningful connections. And so just celebrating you all, because you're having a real impact in the world, you know?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Kay.
Yeah, yeah. And I love it because you're doing it in your school, in the schools with actual children. You're also doing it for me. and then we are getting to share it for others. And there's so many people that need this kind of inspiration right now. And I'm so excited that we get to bring this to them. So
thank you for inviting us and having us. We appreciate you and everybody that's listening and that will listen.
Yeah. Thank you for having this atmosphere and these conversations with us. These are things that we just always want to tell people. We're like, we got to tell them about the kids first.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you very much. Our time is, I think, finished. It's gone so quickly. Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I think we just want to say thank you again for allowing this space and hosting this and allowing us to just be ourselves, come as ourselves, express what we think, what we believe, and then again, just supporting us as an organization, Rebels for Peace and the Rebels Games. And again, hosting the space for our organization again and again separately in our podcast and us together as a team as well again today. So we just appreciate you for your support and thank you for admiring our work and seeing us on the field day to day. We appreciate you.
Thank you. It's mutual. All right. Well, friends listening, you can find, I will link to each individual conversation that I've had with Devlin, Logan, Melina, and Prince. And there will also be links for you to find Rebels for Peace and Instagram, the awesome Rebels for Peace website, which I do still go and look at sometimes just because it makes me happy. And for those of you in this conversation who had wanted to be found in LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever, Instagram, those links are there as well. So yeah, thank you for being along with us on this ride as we've gotten to speak with these incredible folks. And we'll see you next time.
All right, see you next time.
Bye-bye.